the president has a legitimate point. He set a challenge for the world. We think that what you can do is be tougher on Iran, address the concerns of the president, and not throw the baby out with the bathwater, not junk a deal. Because, as I say, Plan B does not seem to me to be particularly well developed at this stage.
All right, that's a British version of fix it, don't nix it, Mr. President. Boris Johnson, their Secretary of State in Britain, essentially saying the same when he had a chance to meet with Mr. Pompeo. Look, there are a lot of problems with this Iran deal, but you go ahead and rip it up. We're starting from scratch, and all of a sudden there are a whole lot more problems than you can ever envision here. To the New York State Democratic Assemblyman who says nonsense, Dov Hikind opposed this deal from the very beginning and still opposes it right now. Assemblyman, good to have you back.
It's a pleasure.
All right, so there's Boris Johnson, a host of others, Emmanuel Macron a couple of weeks ago, Angela Merkel of Germany. They're all saying, no, 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 no. I mean, we worked very hard at this. To start from scratch, you would be entertaining possibilities you can't imagine. What do you think of that?
Well, I guarantee you, Neil, the world will go on the day after the president chucks this deal. The bottom line is that the president of the United States has challenged the entire world. You know, so many of the people who say, you know, we're for the deal continuing, at the same time they admit that there are so many holes, there are so many problems with the deal. And the president, by challenging the entire world, having the guts to do that, to stand up to a deal that unquestionably, if it continues the way it is, we'll all be able to say we still got the deal, but at the end of the line, the Iranians will have atomic weapons. There's no question about it. And what about all the other things that are going on? You can't separate them. The fact that Iran is involved all over the world in destabilizing the Middle East. I mean, they're creating havoc all over the world. And
but what would change with that? You know, a lot of people agree with what you just outlined as a fine premise, Dov. But the flip side is that you usually like to think, what incentivizes someone to return to a table if they've already gotten the money they wanted from that table? You know what I mean? Like, they've gotten billions of dollars, including, remember, all those pallets of the money that was coming in cash. So they've got it. And it's in their hot little hands as we speak.
Neil, it was a tragedy that that deal happened the way it happened, with the tens and tens of billions of dollars that we gave to Iran, that Iran is using now.
But that's what I'm saying, Assemblyman. If I had a deal, signed a deal with someone, they gave me way too much money, and they let me get away with murder and all this stuff, but I've got the money in my hot little hands, I'm not going to go back and renegotiate a different deal for less money or no money at all. I'm just not going to do it because I have the money in my hands.
I think by pushing Iran against the wall, the possibility of the United States getting out of this deal, we don't know what's going to happen in the days after. I think that the potential is there for creating something better. Look, you know, the country that is most opposed to this deal are the people of Israel, the state of Israel. Israel is the country that would want a good deal more than any other country in the world, because Israel is the only nation that the Iranian leadership is not embarrassed to tell the entire world, we want to destroy you. We want to erase you from the face of the earth. If this was a decent deal, the first country that would say, let's continue this, this is a good thing, let's not interfere with this, would be the people of Israel. They're the ones on the front line. We have a terrible deal, a dangerous deal. Yeah, maybe we could breathe today and tomorrow. What happens the day after?
So you're in the camp that says a lot of these European leaders and others who are saying, you know, fix, don't nix, don't tear up the whole thing, focus on what's wrong with the present thing. You're saying that's not the route to go.
Neil, I'm not impressed with the European countries who are so interested in continuing their financial dealings with Iran. A lot of people are making a lot of money. Maybe they're being influenced by that just a little bit. The bottom line is we're talking about survival. We're talking about a country that makes a deal and is developing ballistic missiles that not only can reach all of Europe, of course Israel, but even the United States of America. You know, we can smile today and say, okay, we got a deal, but it is a deal that will take us excuse me, straight to hell, because it will result. I mean, we're trusting the Iranians. I mean, that's crazy. That's insane. We can do better. And you know what? I want to trust the president on this one. Look what's happening with Korea. I want to trust them on the Iran thing, that we can do better. And if we can't do better, you know, let's get rid of this. Let's ditch this. We're going to come up with something better.
We shall see. All right, sir. Very good seeing you again.